You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Hopefully you did tune in yesterday, and we answered about 10 questions yesterday, so that was a lot of fun. A lot of questions on digestive-based issues, on fatigue, on looser stool, on different food sensitivities. I answered questions I know on some hormone-based dysregulation. I answered questions on different types of exercise and exercise programs, on sleep-based protocols, on the integrative health practitioner certification. So a lot of fun. Tune into that show by going to stephencabral.com/1009. So now it is time to move on to brand new questions. We are now a little less than 12 weeks behind with these questions. So I like to say that we're starting to catch up a little bit, and excited to be able to answer as many of our community's questions as possible on all things wellness, weight loss, anti-aging. So let's get started. And of course, remember, if you have your own question, if you can ask it at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's where you get daily answers to your questions and daily support, cabralsupportgroup.com. But if it's a question that only you want me to answer, and I'll do it just by reading your first name, it's because it is anonymous just to the first name, and you don't mind waiting the 12 weeks, you can ask that at stephencabral.com/ask Cabral. It's a service that I'm very happy to be able to provide, and I very much enjoy being able to answer all of our community's questions from all over the world. Thanks so much, and let's get into now the show. First question is from Afton, AFFTON. Hello, my husband is a huge fan of Dr. Cabral. He listens to his podcast every single day and has for more than a year now, and has completely changed his lifestyle to follow Dr. Ball's recommendations and the information that he provides, as well as that of myself and our children. My husband refers many people to his podcast and shares the information that he provides. He's a dentist in Missouri and becomes increasingly interested in incorporating more treatment options that are functional medicine-based, and he would greatly appreciate Dr. Ball's advice, knowledge, and experience. I know it's a long shot, but I thought it worth asking, does Dr. Ball ever schedule to meet with anyone to discuss the work he does and exchange ideas and information, since he's a wealth of knowledge? More of a laid-back conversation like over lunch or dinner or in person, and even FaceTime or Skype. My husband would absolutely love to meet Dr. Ball, and although I'm sure he is beyond busy, I thought I would reach out and ask, just in case this is something that he does. Thank you so much in advance for your time and consideration. Really nice of you to write in for your husband, and I truly appreciate your husband. Let him know that I'm a fan of his for wanting to do more functional medicine-based work, especially in dentistry. I work with so many dentists in my private practice. I can't begin to tell you that. Dentists are one of the best people to be preaching about overall health, and that's because so much health has to do with the gums and the teeth and really holistic and biological-based dentistry, and I hope that your husband has tuned into some of those shows. So, the only thing about me meeting people, for a lunch or those types of things is that I have zero time. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but people in the integrative health practitioner program know all about this, is that my day is scheduled to a T. And that my lunch I do take for myself, but like everything is scheduled. And so what I'm going to do, though, is because I actually get asked this quite a bit, and I mean, honestly, it's fantastic. I love that people would love to meet. And so what I'm going to do in the future, though, for sure, so we have our integrative health practitioner group. So anyone who wants to learn more about what I do and how I practice and even how I schedule my day, but it's mainly, obviously, it's about my de-stress protocol. It's how I help people heal themselves, and then I want to teach people how to do that with others, like we talk about in the Cabral concept. It just goes much more in depth. So what I'd like to do, though, in the future is some live events. And at these live events, then I'm going to be able to meet more of our community. So in the future, I want to do these in, of course, the United States on the East Coast. I want to do it in on the West Coast of the U.S. And I would love to do, I'm on the advisory board for the Institute for Bioregulatory Medicine. They do an international event in Germany. If I end up speaking at one of those events, then I'll do a meetup there as well. And of course, I'll invite people. And then I'll do one in Australia as well. So these are all things that I do plan to do. Absolutely flattered. Love the opportunity to meet people, converse with people, and just connect. So this will happen in the future. Just right now, it's just not I think something that I'm able to do. And I've even had to stop my mentorship for private health coaches who want to, kind of learn more about how to create their own practice as well. For the time being, I really am that busy. So think about how busy a person could be. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I have an amazing work-life balance. It's integration for me. But when I do have that downtime, it's with my girls. And anyway, so that's that. But we'll make it happen in the future for sure. Lisa's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. It's been a long time since I asked a question here on your podcast. I did ask this in the Facebook group. However, I didn't get the answer I was hoping for. So I'd like to see a little bit more in depth. I am, without a doubt, a Kapha body type. You posted a picture of Kelly Brook, and she could be my twin. I have her hair, face shape, eyes, nose, lips, arms, bust, waist, hips, and thighs. I've done the 14-day detox and CBO protocol. I'm feeling better, but I still struggle to lose weight. I need to lose 25 pounds to be healthier. I eat very clean, all organic, drink only water or green juice, never fruit juice. I tried keto, and I felt the adrenaline rush, but mentally did not feel good in that diet. I was strict keto, kept carbs under 25. I've been practicing IF for years. My body does not want to release fat at all. I'm getting really frustrated. I recently decided to stop IVF and just to practice an 80-10-10 raw vegan diet. I'm eating very high carbs, all from fruits like bananas, watermelon, mangoes. I'm no longer restricting myself, and I actually feel great. I have endless energy and very joyful. Why am I losing weight with high carbs if I'm the classic Kapha body type? I feel like I'm eating more now than I ever ate before. Thank you for all your help. My husband is ordering the 5 labs for myself as a gift, and I cannot wait to get the results. For the last year, I've been doing your daily nutritional support, probiotic, Dr. Ball daily protocol. Love them all. Thank you. And Lisa, thank you for writing in. Really appreciate that. Love that you already know your body type and you know what your kind of, just everyone has their own thing, right? And the Kapha body type is going to be more prone to gaining a little bit more weight. Now, the interesting thing is this. So on a podcast that I just did on episode 1006, so this just came out 4 days ago, right? Today's episode 1010. So check it out today at stephencabral.com/1010. So in episode 1006, it was the 10 easy Ayurvedic weight loss diet tips. Now, it's interesting, but we did a fruit and very easy to digest diet with people that were looking to lose weight when I was over in India and Sri Lanka. And we kept them as Kapha-based foods, and they lost weight as well. Part of it is because when there's digestive issues, that can take a tremendous amount of stress and strain on your body. We know that carbs cut cortisol and relax the nervous system. We also know that carbs restore leptin and ghrelin levels. This is why I tell people that a low-carb diet is not the answer in the long term. And that's because it changes hormones. Carbohydrates reduce stress. Reducing stress helps with the thyroid. It helps with female hormones. It helps with estrogen dominance. It helps with low progesterone. These are all very, very important things. So what you're looking at right now is being on a very cleansing, a diuretic-based diet that's actually going to help you release a lot of toxic water weight. The Dr. Ball Detox is basically all plant-based until dinner. You can decide to have some type of fish or protein that you would like. I recommend a smoothie every morning. That's predominantly what? Fruit. All of these things are very, very helpful. It sounds like you are on the right path. I can't wait to see your 5 labs, and I'd be happy to offer all of my suggestions to figure out what it is hormonally, inflammation, gut-based toxicity, etc., that we find. And we'll find it, and we'll help keep tweaking it. I just want to make sure that you are doing, as a Kapha body type, near daily exercise. I'm not talking about hard exercise. I'm just talking about getting that body moving for 30 to 60 minutes a day beyond walking. Walking is great. I want that, but I just need to make sure that we're not straining or crushing the body, but that we are moving that body. Maybe 20 minutes of some body weight training and 20 minutes of some cardio. That would be amazing most days per week. Think about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off, Thursday, Friday, and then pick a weekend day. That would be amazing. I mean, really. So let's figure this out for you. We can make it happen, and you'll be the perfect Kapha body type. All right. Chelsea is up next. Hello, I'm interested in getting my constitution confirmed. I've listened to your podcast, but I'm still confused about what mine is. Again, it's like a bandwidth thing. I would love to be able to just literally go through everyone's body type and tell them exactly what they are. Unfortunately, I literally am booked from sun up to sundown. And so this is something that I'm going to make happen in the future, but it just requires me to come up with the system. And then I already know how to do it, but it's going to take some time to implement that. And then I will be able to read like 100 people constitutions a week and give you that feedback. Right now, it would take more team members. It would take a specific software that I want to build. So it's just going to take some time. We do offer it, though, for all private wellness clients, which means when you're working with one of my health coaches, because I'm currently booked up until the new year, you can send over your photos. And when I'm going over your labs, because all private wellness clients, typically they send over their labs that we run, and they send over their photo, and then I tell them what their constitution is, and then your health coach tells you. So remember, when you work with my health coaching team, you're working with me because I'm still reading the labs and giving recommendations. My health coaches can do that on their own, but I want to just make sure and confirm that it's the exact program for you. And so that is that. All right, Holly's up next. Hi, Dr. Ball. I love your podcast. Been listening to it for the past month now, and it's helped my husband and I so much. Was wondering what your opinion on iodine is. How many milligrams a day do we need? I'm vegan, and I'm worried that I don't get enough of this in my diet. I don't use iodized salt. Can I get it from other foods? I've heard that it's in seaweed, but that also many of the seaweed products sold have arsenic in them. What do you think? Yeah, I mean, this is always an issue with anything from, the sea or the land. I think you heard last weekend when I talked about Proposition 65 and there's just lead in the soil. And so you can't have herbs without potentially having a little bit of lead in them because, unless you're growing them in some sterile environment, which wouldn't make them a powerful herb because they didn't come from the earth, then these things can happen. Like there's a little bit of arsenic in some forms of rice, but you've heard me speak about this before. The low arsenic rice are Lundberg and also Lotus. Those are great ones. Now, in terms of iodine, honestly, the easiest thing you can do is just use the daily nutritional support shake that everyone in my practice uses. And all you need is 150 micrograms a day of iodine. We use potassium iodine, and that is 100% of the RDA, so that you don't have to use iodized table salt. And what else? We use it in our daily thyroid support product, because some people need more. You can actually find out your iodine levels by doing a complete thyroid test. That you can just type in complete thyroid test at equilibriumnutrition.com. What else can I tell you? Iodine's essential. You know what? I did a Friday review on iodine. Let's find that for you. I want to make sure you get the answer that you need. So let's get this for you. I'd be shocked if I didn't do a show on iodine. Yep, right there. July 27th, 2018. I try to keep notes on all my Friday reviews. So July 27th. Let's see exactly what show that was for you. All right. That was July 27th. July 27th was episode 903. Check that out. StephenCabral.com/903. And you'll also get some of those high iodine foods right on that podcast. Hopefully that helps. All right. Sophie is up next. Sophie's asking, Dr. Ball, my mom has a high platelet count in the 600 to 800K range. She's in her 60s, and her doctor has recommended she go on a certain medication. She doesn't want to take the drugs, and I'm hoping that you can shed some light on high platelet counts or some sub-tests and protocols she could potentially do to avoid taking the drug. Okay, so Sophie, let's answer this question for you. When you have a high platelet count, it's different than a lower platelet count. Now, a lower platelet count can actually be because of heavy metal damage or total body burden toxicity or some type of oxidative free radical damage. When we're looking at a high platelet count, two main reasons that I've seen. And the first main reason is there's some other disease-based process in the body calling for a higher production of blood platelets. So what we want to do is figure out what is going on in the body, what type of damage is being created from some other type of dis-ease. Now, I don't know your mom. I don't know if she has diabetes or cardiovascular disease or kidney-based issues. I don't know what's going on. I'm assuming there's something going on, but there may not be. Now, of course, we would run our Dr. Cabral Big Five. That's what I would run to just say, hey, like, what is going on right now? But also, another cause of high blood platelet count that's not always looked at is atherosclerosis. And that basically means a hardening of the arteries. So there's actually some really good research on this. So you can go to honestly any website at Mayo Clinic or PubMed, anyone you want. If you want, you can just simply type in atherosclerosis and high blood platelet count, and you'll be able to see the correlation. So what I would want to do is just say, well, what's going on there? What's your mom's lipid panel look like? What do her triglycerides look like? What does her homocysteine levels look like? What does her CRP levels look like? And her vitamin D. Okay, so what I want you to ask your doctor ideally, and don't say it's from me because they won't like that, simply say, would you mind if we ran a lipid panel, 25-hydroxy vitamin D, CRP, HSCRP ideally, high sensitivity, and homocysteine. So if you can run those, you can look at inflammation in the body as a whole, as well as inflammation in the arteries. And you'll have a much better idea of what's going on. Then we can begin to use proteolytic enzymes, higher dosages of B vitamins, especially folate and B12. We can use something called trimethylglycine. We can use betaine anhydrous. So there's a lot of things that we can use in order to help with that. And then it's a longer-term plan that you would need to work with a functional medicine doctor in your area or someone to help her with these specific things. So that is the place to get started. All right, Jacqueline is up next. This is a longer question, so I'm going to read the main parts, and then you can read all of it at stephencabral.com/1010. Okay, 1010, so it's always the numerical. Hi, Dr. Ball. There are no words for the gratitude and respect I have for you and all that you are doing. I am trying to dive deeper into the ways of Ayurveda, and I'm also currently combating bacterial yeast overgrowth, hormonal balance, etc. Currently finishing your 14-day detox and starting the CBO plan. But I have a question for you. Due to inflammation, histamine reactions, as well as wanting to follow Ayurveda more closely to aid in healing my body, I can't tolerate and I'm trying to avoid reheating foods, meal prepping, and eating leftovers. All those years of paleo and meal prepping, had no idea I was eating dead food. Okay, so she goes on to talk about how she used to do all of those things, how she used to preheat food or prep food for 5 days on a Sunday. What would you advise for someone that works outside the home to do for meals during work hours? I'm at a loss. The cafeteria where I work is very limited. I'm a busy RN, only get 30 minutes for lunch. It's not possible for me to cook these foods or put them. It's also not possible for me to cook hot foods and put them in a thermos before work because I now get up at 4:45. All right, I totally understand. Great questions, and I'm happy to help. So, yes, I mean, food is technically in Ayurveda dead after 6 hours, and then we know now from conventional or science, whatever you want to call it, modern science, that actually starts to grow quite a bit of bacteria, whether it's refrigerated or not. The only way around that is technically to freeze it. But it's still, like you said, once it's been cooked, it's been cooked. So, I mean, I try to help people with wherever they're at, and some people need to meal prep. So what I would say is this. One of the things that we do for people with very demanding jobs is that you may be out of work by 3 o'clock or so. I don't know what time you get out of work. Well, let's just say it's a normal 9 to 5 job. You could do a smoothie around 8 a.m. You could do another smoothie or smoothie bowl or deconstructed meal for lunch, meaning that you could do another hemp or daily nutritional support shake with water. The people love the chocolate one by itself with just water now. And then you could do some fruit on the side. As I was speaking with Lisa earlier about the Kapha body type. Like you can just nourish your body with some plant-based protein. You might do it with some fruit on the side and then have a real meal at night when you're off work and you're relaxed and you can eat good food. So we have so many people do that. So I'm actually thinking of two people right now, and it's funny, but one of the people is a dentist. So we just spoke about a dentist earlier, and the other is a pharmacist. And those people, they can't really stop for lunch. They can't go out of their office for lunch. And so what we decided is like, this is just what we're going to do. And it still is healthy a meal because we're just basically taking a meal and we're putting it in a deconstructed smoothie. So they can't blend it up at work, but they can do a shaker bottle and they can shake that up and they can do it with water or they can do it with a little bit of nut milk and they can have some berries and fruit on the side. And after they eat the berries in the shake, if they're still a little hungry, well, that's when they could have some nuts. But wait until, because again, in Ayurvedic principles, the fruit digests faster, which is the truth. And so what you can do is after, you could do fruit, shake, and then you could do the nuts a half hour or 20 minutes later. You'll be able to fit everything in, and you'll have a nice little easy-to-digest meal. And then at dinner, you can do a larger or nicer meal for yourself. So that hopefully at least gets the wheels turning, right? Because if you can't leave your place, you can't bring food, and what can you do? So you need to make the best of the situation that you're currently in. All right, Jenna's up next. Love your show and everything you're doing. I'm writing on behalf of my boyfriend who has pyruvate kinase enzyme deficiency with hemochromatosis. Sorry, that's a mouthful. He's changed his diet to include foods lower in iron and has pretty much eliminated his red meat consumption. He's also changed his diet and lifestyle to routinely go into the gym 4 to 5 times per week. Used to take medication to keep it under control, but because the disease is so rare and the medication has so many side effects, he's found a more natural alternative way. My question is, what else can he do to keep himself from slipping into the liver pain and severe inflammation he sometimes feels when symptoms flare up? What can he do to help himself feel healthy all the time? Any advice is truly appreciated. All right, so let's take a look. For those people who don't know, it's the hemochromatosis can be a buildup of iron, mainly in men. And so that's something that's very, very important that we look at. The pyruvate kinase enzyme is actually something that helps with turning glucose or glycogen to usable fuel. So it's the last step basically in a process that we call glycolysis. This helps with energy production. And so I always like to look at, well, what are all of the other things that can help with this condition? So what I want to do is just to make sure that, this is obviously a genetic congenital based condition, which is rare. But what we want to do is make sure that he has all the cofactors. Sorry, been talking for quite a bit today. So what I like to look at are the cofactors that make up iron, that make up oxygenation of the red blood cells. And you can find all of these on an organic acids test and a hair tissue mineral analysis. And they are your B vitamins, namely B12, folate, and B6 is a cofactor that helps. You want to look at your calcium, magnesium, you want to look at your vitamin D, and then you want to look at your zinc and your copper. So those are what I look at. I want to make sure those are balanced. I also want to make sure that your boyfriend does not have any heavy metal overload as well. And that we're always doing blood work. We're checking his iron levels. If we need to, we'll have him give blood, which will help bring down those levels as well. And then I don't know, as long as it's not contraindicated, his PCP or specialist, then doing something to help with that liver detox on a daily basis, such as sulforaphane in the daily nutritional support shake. I'm sure he could do that. Well, again, you can always check in these rare conditions. But the other thing is doing the seasonal detox, is helping to clean out and clear out whatever his body doesn't need. And again, in a rare medical condition, you always want to check with your PCP, like whoever specialist is. But I don't see the issue, but again, I can't make medical recommendations. So hopefully that helps, Jenna. That looks like the end of our time today. And the reason is that I like to keep it right at that 25-minute mark for you. So we've got so many more questions. They're not going to stop, and neither will we. So we'll be back next weekend with more Cabral House Calls on the Cabral Concept. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Look forward to speaking with you tomorrow on our Mindset and Motivation Monday. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.